I am super late. I apologize. That's 2 weeks in a row. Does not make it right for me apologizing, but I'm apologizing again. Anyways, I hope you guys all had a great long weekend and everything is well with some of the kids are back to school. I know some are not back till Friday and some even next Tuesday, depending if they go to Catholic school or French immersion or their ages and so forth. But I hope everybody's well and the kids are all loving seeing their friends and so forth and getting back into somewhat of a normal routine. Hi, Justin. Um, I hope you had a good weekend, Justin. I think you went to the cottage. Not I think, I know you did. So today we're going to do our normal, which is happy news and real estate statistics, and then anybody that asks questions throughout the week. Um, you've been waiting. I'm sorry. I know I'm late. Um, and anybody that asks questions throughout the week, if you have any questions on this, you can message them in the comments. Because, like I was thinking the other day, like I do what I like, which is real estate statistics and happy news and answer questions. But maybe you guys want me to do something else, or you have other questions for me, or you don't want me just to cover happy news, or you want me to say like renovation tips or whatever. You're welcome to write whatever in the comments, and if you're too shy to and you just write them privately, DM me. I will answer them, and if you don't want them on live Facebook next week, that is fine too. Hi, Scotty. I'm glad you had a nice weekend. I'm glad I can see comments again too. I remember for that little bit I couldn't see comments, so I'm glad I can see comments again. So I'm going to start with a question. So for the first question, it comes from Curtis in Lefroy, which is a part of Innisfil. So it says, now that kids are back to school, do you see a lull or will there be a lull in the next few weeks of buyers? I don't see a lull. It is crazy busy. And to be honest, our normal market, our busiest is like April, May, June. And then those people usually move in July, August. And then our second market, September, October, November. So because of COVID and stuff, it just basically pushed our spring market in to the summer more than it normally is. And so it's still continuing. Plus, then we have our next market now anyway, so it just didn't stop. So no, I don't see a lull. Obviously, if there is a second wave of COVID, and depending on how severe it is, there could be a lull, but not just because kids went back to school. Hi, Allie. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jason. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Rahi. Jennifer and I, where were we? Bahamas a million years ago. Hi, Brenda. Um, and I had somebody last week message me after, and they thought that I could see them like in their living room or in their pajamas or whatever. And I can't actually see you guys, okay? I can just see your names, but I can't see what you're doing if you're picking your nose or sitting in your pajamas, so don't worry, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is just do a bit of happy news. So there was a guy named, not was, is a guy named Rob Kenny, and his parents split up when he was 14, and basically his parents decided they were done with parenting. So he moved in with his older brother. He ended up getting married, having 2 kids, and then during COVID, he had some extra time on his hands, like many of us do, and he decided to start a YouTube channel. So he started a YouTube channel called Dad, How Do I? And it's only been less than 2 months, and he already has over 2 million subscribers. And basically, he like shows people how to change a tire, unclog a drain, um, use a stud finder, tie a tie, shave their face, um, put up a shelf, that kind of thing. So that I just thought was cool because he's not doing it for money, but all these people are watching all the time, and they start to donate money to him, so he's giving it all to charity. And at the beginning of each of his little videos, he says, "Hey kids," and he also says like a corny dad joke, which is cute. So I like that. Hi, Karen. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Allie. Um, don't worry, I will do real estate also, okay? And we have all our August statistics, so that's good too. So we can go over all of that. Next question is from Josh in Midland. So Josh says, I want to get into real estate investing, but I currently don't even own a house. What should my first steps be? Um, so Josh, I don't know like how much you have saved and so forth, but what lenders are going to look at are 3 main things. So I would focus on those. They're going to look at your debt to service ratio, which basically just means, say, for every $100 that you make, At your job, what are you spending? Are you spending $110 and maxing out credit cards? Or are you spending $80? Are you spending 30 of your 100? So that's your debt to service ratio. So they're going to look at that. So if you can try and save more than you're spending, would obviously be ideal. They're also going to look at your credit score. So try and pay things on time, try not to miss payments, try not to have all your credit cards maxed, or if you have any lines of credit or student loan or student debt or anything like that. So that'll help with your credit score. And then they're going to look at your jobs. So if you jump around jobs a lot, they're not going to like that. Even if you're staying in one profession but you keep moving, they don't like that. So those are the three main things they look at. So I would try and get those like under wraps and up to par as much as possible. Just because one of them is not so hot doesn't mean you can't still get a lender. It just might mean you might pay a higher interest rate, or they might make you put more down or so forth. So just make sure that you have all those under check, okay? Hi, Maddie. Hi, Christina. I hope you and Carla are well. Hi, Ashley. I said hi to Ashley, I think, already. Okay. So, since lockdown, who do you guys think has been doing the most, like, not to say honey-do lists, but like to-do lists at home, whether it's like put this fake brick wall or redo your floors or whatever? I don't know if you guys have any guesses, but it's actually millennials. So 81% of millennials have had some sort of home renovation that they've done since March. So that was cool, since sometimes people give millennials a lot of slack and think they're lazy, so they've done the most. 2/3 of them said they did it to save money, and 49% said they just did it for something to do. And then not just millennials, but everybody, the average person since COVID has done 4 projects at home, which is pretty cool, whether it's big or small. 32% of people said they painted. 29% said they did some sort of silicone or caulking. 29% landscaped. They added some gardens or pathways or so forth. 24% of people tiled either their kitchen floor or their bathroom floor or a backsplash. And 67% said they will do a project again to save money. 71% of people said their house is still a work in progress, or they still have extra renovations to do. And 57% of people said they would do more renovations before Christmas. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Natalie. I hope you're well, Natalie. Natalie's my cousin in Chicago, and her oldest daughter just went off to college. Hi, Shauna. It's so nice to see everybody. Not physically, but see you on here. I hope you guys are all amazing. Had a great long weekend. So the top 8 projects that people said they liked doing in this survey. So the first one was new lighting. It's not really like a project per se, but still like changing out lighting. The second thing was bathroom renovations. The third thing was kitchen renovations, which is obviously a bigger one and more costly. And then the fourth thing was new driveways, whether it was just, sealing or putting, the black coat and like fixing cracks or whatever, or changing gravel to paved, which is obviously a lot more costly. The fifth thing was doing a deck or patio. Sixth thing was flooring. 7 was windows, and 8 was new countertops in their kitchen or bathroom. So that is what people like doing. The next question was from Jacqueline, and Jacqueline said, I think I've done pretty well thus far in life, but there are a lot of negative people around me that it almost makes me feel they want me to be miserable. How can I keep trudging forward and not get pulled backwards by them? Thank you, Jacqueline, for writing in. Jacqueline is from Barrie. It depends who these people are in your life. Like if they're your family and basically you're going to see them at every family reunion, or if you're dating them, maybe not the best person to date, or maybe you could help them think more positively. Maybe throw like some podcasts their way, or like a book or something their way that might be helpful. Maybe it's not maybe, but I'd say it's not actually you, so don't take it to heart. It's probably something that they haven't dealt with from their past, and unfortunately they're putting it onto you. So as much as you can, fill your mind with more positive things, the more so you'll be able to, stand tall when they are trying to pull you back. And so whether you limit your time with them, or maybe you have to cut them out, I don't know the answer because I don't know the full details. Hi, Dakota. Oh yeah, you did do an accent wall, I saw, Justin, and then you painted it dark, but then you switched it to white. Um, yeah, Scotty did an accent wall too. Hi, Cassandra and Yasmin. Um, okay. So there was also just a couple more stories before real estate statistics. There was a young girl named Chastity, and she's 23 now, and she lost her stepdad 5 years ago. And basically, they, even though it was her stepdad and not her real dad, her real dad's not in the picture. He came to all of her school dances and or dance recitals or whatever, all of her sporting events and everything like that. And they cried together, they shared everything together, and then he passed away. And she would text him, even though he had passed, she just kept texting his number for 5 years. And then on his most recent, the death of, or the anniversary of his death, she got a text back, and it was from a man named Brian, who was not her stepdad, and just said, "Hi, this is not, your dad, but I've been receiving your messages all these years, and they've been like the highlight of my morning and my night." And his daughter actually passed away in, sorry, it said I had bad internet connection. I don't know. So I felt like that yesterday. Everything was kind of kooky. I am back. So the next question goes, or comes, I should say. Hi, Scotty. Sorry, bad internet connection. It said. I also deleted the Rogers Ignite app from my phone, so I can't undo it and restart it. And I'm sorry, my hair is a mess. So the next question, hi Maddie, sorry guys, is from Angela and Francesco in Bradford. And Angela and Francesco said, we're both 65 and we retire this year. Do you think we should sell now and take advantage of the market and then rent and have no hassle, or rebuy? And then she said, but if we rebuy, aren't we buying when things are priced high? So all the extra we just made doesn't really matter. So thank you, Angela and Francesco, for writing in. I personally wouldn't just rent. You're only 65, and so whether you live to 105 or 75 or whatever, we don't know. But if you calculate how much rent you're going to pay every month times by the year, and then times by the decades, it is a crazy amount of rent. And then if you were paying down your own principal, or if you just had no mortgage, it's obviously a huge amount of money. So I personally wouldn't do that. As for, you're saying, oh, the market's hot and selling now, but then you're buying now and you're paying more. There's still ways around it. There's not over 22, it's 22 different boards that clients, I'm trying to fix my hair, but it's not working, that agents can list on. So maybe, an agent's only listed on one board or 3 boards or whatever, so it's not being exposed to everybody. So it doesn't mean that every single house that gets listed has all these crazy showings and has bidding wars or anything like that. So there's still ways around it to find a deal. And some of the agents don't list it properly. And over 95% of agents sell less than 6 houses a year anyways. So by the time they pay their dues and their fees and their insurance, they're making less than minimum wage. So they don't have the funds to advertise it properly. So there's still ways to get into other properties, so you can sell high, take advantage, and then you can still buy and not have to overpay for anything. So I would buy something else. But I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Next one more before real estate. The text message story. Oh, I didn't finish it. Oh. The text message. So he said, that his daughter had passed away the August before he started to get those messages. And he said that those messages got him through some really dark times. And he wished that his daughter, grew up to be like her. And she had told him about all these times not knowing really who she was messaging, or even if it was going to anybody or if the number was still active. But she had gone off to college and she had actually got cancer and then survived cancer and whatever. So it was super cute and I cried. Hi, Allie. So what I was going to say, one more thing before real estate. My dad used to ride Rocky Mountain when I was a kid, which is not jerk bike, not a road bike, a mountain bike, obviously, Rocky Mountain. So when I was a kid, I'd always like run next to him and, hand him Gatorade or throw him water. But he's broken lots of bones, and often my stepmom would be like, "You need to decide, real estate or me," and give him the ultimatum. But he ended up just getting a tandem bicycle so she could ride with him. But the reason I'm telling you is because he broke lots of bones, including his neck, but luckily he was not paralyzed. But there was a fellow in Calgary that was snowboarding, and he became like got injuries and couldn't walk anymore. So he had a wheelchair, and he'd go out like biking with his friends because he likes snowboarding and biking. And he'd bike with his friends, in his wheelchair. But they'd always have to wait for him and stuff, so he didn't like that. So he actually invented 3 bikes, and for different levels, all the way up to like his level, all the way up to quadriplegic. And it's basically like a wheelchair mixed with a tricycle, with big fat tires with an engine on the back, or a motor. I guess an engine is too big, but a motor. So I thought that was cool because he's from Canada, and he's, fulfilling his dreams and seeing, Canada's beautiful countryside, and showing that it doesn't matter what happens to you, that you can still live your best life, and he's helping other people. So I like that. You're crying, Scotty? Okay. Okay, so now we're in real estate. Okay, so August statistics are in. And as I'm sure you can guess, because if you're watching my lives every week, things are booming. So there were, just in Barrie alone, there were 320 sales in August in Barrie. And that was 42.9% over 2019. And the average sales price was $567, which is 15.7% higher than 2019's August. And then when we do the rest of Simcoe, but not counting Barrie, there was 794 houses that sold, which is up 59.8% than 2019, which is crazy. So 59.8% more homes sold. And if you think of obviously COVID and everything going on, it's crazy. And the average sales price was just over $660. I don't like say all the little numbers, but $660. And that was up 31.5%. Okay. Scotty, get a tissue and come back. And then all of Simcoe in August, because the other one I was saying did not count Barrie. And somebody's calling me from Coburg right now. Sorry, person. Decline. All of Simcoe, there was 1,119 homes that sold in August, which was 54.6% more than 2019. And again, if you listen every week, you hear that everything's crazy, so this obviously makes sense. The average sales price was $633, which is up 27.1% over last year's August. And then when we look at just Barrie, for detached homes, there was 197 that sold in August, which was up 142.8% over 2019, which is crazy. Hi, Dakota. And then in condos in Barrie, there was 52 houses, which is 7.9. Oh, I'm back. It said poor connection again, and I thought I was going to lose you again. But then I came back. Hi, Tammy. And then, so year to date, there's been 5,900 homes sold in all of Simcoe. So that is 17.9% more than 2019. So think of year to date, COVID, everything, and 17.9% more homes have sold, which is amazing. And the average sales price of year-to-date homes in Simcoe County has been $571 and change, which is 13.2% higher than last year's average. And I have a question in here. Candace from Shanty Bay. Do you think if there's a second wave of COVID, they will let people defer their mortgages again? Candace, I do not know. It depends how big it is. If they just say, for example, I have a friend in England, and they just relaunched, or whatever you want to call it, like a soft closure, basically a soft shutdown. So they brought back their numbers so you can only be in groups of 6. So if it's like a soft shutdown or whatever, I don't think they will let people defer their mortgages. But if they're like close everything, stay at home, blah, 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 then I do think they will let people defer their mortgages again. So it depends. So I'm not sure. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. But thank you for writing in. again, for people that watch this, I always say how crazy August has been. So in all of Simcoe, in July of this year, there was 595 sales, and in August there was 633. So 633 versus 599, and normally the last 2 weeks of August, realtors take off because it's so dead back to school. But this year there was more homes sold in August than July. And in all of Simcoe, in July there was 600. All of Simcoe, not counting Barrie, I lied. There was 602 homes sold in July, and in August there was 660. So those numbers are up too. Innisfil, because somebody asked me about Innisfil in the comments of the last one. So Innisfil had 88 homes sold in August, and that is 4.8% more than July. And some people might be like, well, that's not very big, but I mean, August is normally dead. And last year, August as opposed to July in Simcoe County was 17% less. So instead of 17% down, number of sales we had, or Innisfil had 4% higher, 4.8. Okay, and the average sales price was $673, which is up 8.9%. So that is good. Year to date in Barrie, so there's been 1,902 homes sold just in Barrie alone, year to date, and that is 22.6% more than 2019. And the average sales price is $547. Last year's was $490, and that is 11.6% higher. Okay. So 490 to 547, 11.6% up. Yay, Barrie year to date. And then just in condos, just in Barrie, there's been 259 condos sold year to date, which is up 16.1% over 2019. So that is perfect. And the average price year to date is $400,000, which is up 8% over last year. And then there's lots of numbers. I apologize. I have more stuff after numbers. So year to date in all of Simcoe, detached houses, there was 543 homes sold last year. This year there was 618, so 543, 618, so it's up 13.8%, the number of detached homes that were sold. And then semi-detached homes that were sold in all of Simcoe year to date, there was 431 last year and 449 this year. Townhouses, there was 403 last year, 442 this year. Condos, there was 384 last year and 421 this year. So all of our numbers are up in the amount of homes selling. The next question is from Grant and Kim from Barrie. We don't have a lot of extra cash laying around, but could scrape up $2,500 or so. With that amount of money, what would you suggest home-wise we renovate or upgrade? Thank you, Grant and Kim, for asking and writing in. I haven't seen your property, so I don't want to judge and say, oh, do this, and then meanwhile you just did that a month ago or a year ago. But with $2,500, say for example you have linoleum in your kitchen, you could put ceramic tiles down. You could do the countertop. You could do the backsplash. You could do the handles. So that's nice, and you could even change the lighting, and that would be under $2,500, unless of course you do quartz, which you can't do under $2,500. But you could still do a nice counter, or maybe you have some crazy shag carpet that your dog has peed on a million times. You could put a nice flooring in, and you could paint and change some lighting fixtures. So it kind of just depends on what's the most out of date. But those are some easy and price point, nice ones, as opposed to you need all your windows done. You can't do it under $2,500 or anywhere close to $2,500. Okay. But thank you for writing in. Okay. So more numbers. So not just the amount of homes sold, but another thing that is up is the, before we said the average of homes sold. And now, no, oh my goodness. Now I'm saying the number of homes sold. That was the prices. Now these are the number of homes sold, okay? So year to date, in 2019, there was 3,785. And this year, there's 4,521. This is all of Simcoe. So 3,700 and change, now 4,500 and change. That is up 19.4%. In semi-detached homes, the number of homes sold last year was 94. This year is 137, which is up 168.6%, which is crazy. Townhomes, last year there was 562 sold. This year there's 614 sold, which is up as well, 159.1%. Condos, there was 362 last year sold. This year there is 422 sold, which is 89.2% up. And then as of today, when I checked it, there was 896 listings on the Simcoe, in Simcoe, I should say, and 737 were freehold, and the rest were townhouse, or, oh my goodness, condos. Wowzers. Everything does keep going up, Scotty. Although I can't speak, but everything keeps going up, so that's okay. Last week I talked about people saving money, and one of the things I was saying that they were saving money on was they're growing their own vegetables. So there is a company that's actually taken it further than people's backyards, and on commercial properties normally the roofs are flat, so they've actually turned 4 of them into greenhouses. And the biggest one they just did is the size of 3 football fields. It's over 160,000 square feet, and it feeds, they actually sell, they don't give it for free, but it feeds 20,000 families every single week, and they have over 100 fruits and vegetables that they grow there. It's in Canada, it's in Montreal, but the couple originally, he's from Lebanon and she is from Vermont, but it's nice that they call Canada home, and they're doing, nice and healthy things that we don't have to get things shipped from wherever with pesticide, and they come green because they're traveling for 6 weeks on a truck bed or something, that they're fresh. So that is cool. So hopefully they can get some of those in Toronto or close by to us. Next question is from Maggie in Hillsdale. Hi, Jay. Says, I know you like happy news, and it's true. And always do real estate statistics and positive news, but what do you do if all around you is negativity? I don't know if you mean like the people, because somebody mentioned that earlier, so I don't know if you mean the people or if you mean like health-wise, or news, or you're being bombarded or whatever, but I usually say like this too will pass. So I don't know what it is that is in your world, but I know that like everybody's strong enough, and if they like believe in themselves, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but you like talk to yourself in the mirror, and you're like, I'm enough, I'm strong enough, I'm amazing, I'm incredible, I've got this, I can get through this. Again, as corny as it sounds, it actually helps, as opposed to people that can't even look at themselves in the mirrors, or they cry, or they say nasty things to themselves. So if you believe in yourself and you have a strong core and a strong being, then it helps you a lot if there's negativity around you or coming towards you. But thank you for writing in, but I don't know without like more context really how to answer that. But thank you, Maggie. Okay, so my dog passed away 2.5 years ago, and many other people's pets pass. But there was a 4-year-old, and her dog passed, who was 14 years old, and she asked her parents to write a letter to God, and she sent 2 pictures of her dog, and she said she wanted God to recognize what her dog looked like, and she wanted God to play fetch with her dog with balls and take her dog swimming and so forth. And a lady at the post office actually wrote back to the little girl as God. She gave a book from Mr. Rogers. It was something about like why our pets pass or something, which I didn't even know that book existed, so that's good to know. And wrote a letter, and that just said, your dog got here safely, and your dog's not sick anymore and having such an amazing time and swimming lots. So I thought that was super cute of that postal worker lady to send that to the little 4-year-old, who I'm sure that made her happy. So I liked that. Hi, Rick. Okay, so since I'm on the kick of children, there was also a 4-year-old on the subway recently, and he is autistic, and he was having a bit of a meltdown, and kicking and screaming and pulling his mother's hair. And a police officer came over, and he like showed him his badge, and he started to talk to him and watch videos with him, and he actually took the subway with him for 45 minutes. And so like they're taking photos, they're watching videos, he's telling him about being a police officer and so forth, and just calmed down the child and helped him through that spell. And then he gave him his badge when the mother and the little boy got off, which I just thought is cute. So I like that. And there was another kid, a little girl, Avery, who was 8. And she, I guess at her school, they didn't have this at my school, but they had like a daddy-daughter dance. And she had gone to it every year up until 8. Obviously, she'd only started in kindergarten. But her dad passed away, so she was all upset that she couldn't go. And then one of the counselors heard about it at school, and they asked the mom if they could have permission to ask the little girl to go, and they said yes. So he asked her, and she said yes, and they coordinated their little matching outfits, and he picked her up in a limo, and they went to the dance. So I just think there's so many good people in the world, and I just like to have good stories instead of negative stories. If you guys don't know about the $1,000 giveaway we do, you just have to send a video, like literally like this with your phone, say who you are, say who you would like to nominate, and send it to info@crippshomes.com. Again, info@crippshomes.com. It's the entire month. We do it every single month. On the first of every month, we knock on somebody's door and give them a check for $1,000. They do have to be over the age of 18, but you don't have to be over the age of 18 to nominate them. You could be 15 or whatever. So again, not again, but I'm talking about kindness. So I hope you guys spread kindness. You love each other, and you're just kind to one another. And yeah, don't worry about things, but just spread love instead. Have a great day.